You sit in meditation position, close your eyes, and try to focus on your breath. Within minutes, your mind is racing with thoughts about work deadlines, relationship conflicts, and tomorrow's responsibilities. You notice the mental chatter and gently try to return your attention to breathing, just like all the meditation guides tell you to do. But instead of finding peace, you feel more agitated. Your body feels restless, your breathing stays shallow, and you spend the entire session fighting against your own mind rather than finding the calm everyone promises meditation will bring. You've tried different styles: mindfulness, loving kindness, body scans, guided meditations, silent sitting. You've used apps, attended classes, read books, and even gone on meditation retreats. Some approaches feel slightly better than others, but none provide the profound sense of peace and presence that meditation is supposed to offer. You start to wonder if you're doing something wrong, if you lack the discipline for meditation, or if you're just not the type of person who can achieve meditative states. The most frustrating part is watching other people who seem to effortlessly slip into deep states of calm and awareness during meditation, while you struggle to find even a few moments of genuine quiet. You begin to suspect that meditation just isn't for you, that maybe your mind is too active or your nervous system too wired to ever experience the benefits that millions of people claim to receive from regular practice. What if I told you that your struggles with meditation have nothing to do with your technique, your discipline, or your natural temperament? What if the reason meditation feels difficult or ineffective isn't because you're doing it wrong, but because there's a specific physiological blockage preventing you from accessing the states that meditation is designed to cultivate? What if your vagus nerve, the master controller of your parasympathetic nervous system, has become so compromised that you literally cannot access the calm, peaceful states that successful meditation requires? This is the hidden reality that explains why meditation doesn't work for millions of people who desperately want and need its benefits. Your vagus nerve is supposed to be your gateway to the relaxed, aware states that meditation cultivates. When this nerve is blocked, damaged, or severely dysfunctional, you lose access to the physiological foundation that makes deep meditative states possible. You're essentially trying to meditate with a broken relaxation system, which is like trying to sleep with chronic pain or trying to focus with a severe headache. Understanding why vagus nerve blockage prevents successful meditation requires understanding what actually happens in your body during effective meditative practice. True meditation isn't just about concentrating your mind or thinking positive thoughts. It involves a specific shift in your nervous system from sympathetic activation to parasympathetic dominance. Your heart rate slows and becomes more variable. Your breathing deepens and becomes rhythmic. Your brain waves shift from the beta patterns associated with active thinking to the alpha and theta patterns associated with relaxed awareness. This entire physiological shift is orchestrated primarily by your vagus nerve. When you sit in meditation and begin to relax, your vagus nerve should activate, sending signals throughout your body that it's safe to let go of vigilance and enter states of open, receptive awareness. Without adequate vagal function, your nervous system remains locked in patterns of activation and alertness that make the receptive, surrendered states of meditation nearly impossible to achieve. This is why so many people experience what meditation teachers call meditation resistance. The feeling that their system is actively fighting against the practice rather than naturally settling into calm. It's not resistance in the psychological sense, though it often gets interpreted that way. It's physiological resistance from a nervous system that's stuck in defensive patterns and literally cannot access the states that meditation requires. The symptoms of vagus nerve blockage during meditation are often mistaken for normal beginner difficulties or personal failings. You might experience racing thoughts that feel impossible to quiet, physical restlessness that makes sitting still uncomfortable, Shallow breathing that doesn't deepen no matter how much you focus on it. Emotional. Agitation that increases rather than decreases during practice. Or a sense of anxiety or panic when you try to relax and let go. These aren't signs that you're bad at meditation. They're signs that your vagus nerve isn't providing the physiological support necessary for meditative states. Your nervous system is essentially sending alarm signals that override your conscious intention to relax and be present. No amount of mental effort or willpower can overcome these physiological barriers because they exist at a level deeper than conscious control. The chronic stress and trauma that often lead to vagus nerve blockage create specific patterns of nervous system dysregulation that directly interfere with meditation practice. When your nervous system has been chronically activated by stress, trauma, or other factors, it develops what researchers call hypervigilance, a state of constant scanning for threats that makes the open, receptive awareness of meditation feel dangerous rather than peaceful. Your nervous system has learned that letting your guard down isn't safe. So when you try to enter meditative states of relaxed awareness, your vagus nerve fails to signal safety to your brain. Instead of experiencing the peace and presence that meditation should bring, you experience increased anxiety, restlessness, or even panic as your nervous system interprets the attempt to relax as a potential threat to your survival. This creates a particularly cruel paradox for people who are drawn to meditation specifically because they're dealing with high stress, anxiety, or trauma. The very conditions that make them most need meditation's benefits are the same conditions that prevent them from accessing those benefits through traditional practice. They end up feeling like failures at the one thing that's supposed to help them, adding additional stress and self-criticism to their already overwhelmed systems. The inflammation and gut dysfunction that often accompany vagus nerve blockage create additional barriers to successful meditation. Your vagus nerve is intimately connected to your digestive system through what's called the gut-brain axis. When this communication pathway is disrupted by inflammation, poor gut health, or vagal dysfunction, it creates physical discomfort and mental agitation that make meditation extremely difficult. Many people with vagus nerve blockage experience digestive issues, food sensitivities, or gut inflammation that create background discomfort during meditation. They might feel nauseated, bloated, or generally uncomfortable when sitting still, making it nearly impossible to find the physical ease that supports mental calm. This isn't just about being distracted by physical sensations. The inflammatory signals traveling from gut to brain through damaged vagal pathways actively interfere with nervous system regulation. The sleep disruption that commonly results from vagus nerve dysfunction creates another significant barrier to meditation practice. Quality meditation requires a nervous system that's capable of rest and restoration. But people with vagal blockage often struggle with insomnia, fragmented sleep, or unrestorative sleep that leaves them too activated or exhausted for effective practice. When you're chronically sleep deprived due to nervous system dysfunction, your brain lacks the stability and clarity needed for meditation. You might find yourself either falling asleep during practice because you're exhausted, or feeling too wired and agitated to settle into meditative states. Either way, the sleep disruption created by vagal dysfunction undermines your capacity for successful meditation practice. The social and emotional isolation that often develops with vagus nerve blockage also impacts meditation practice in ways that aren't immediately obvious. Your vagus nerve is heavily involved in what researchers call the social engagement system, your ability to feel safe and connected with others. When this system is compromised, you lose access to the co-regulation opportunities that naturally support nervous system healing and the calm states that meditation requires. Many meditation traditions emphasize the importance of community practice and teacher-student relationships specifically because these social connections provide nervous system support that enhances individual practice. When vagus nerve blockage impairs your capacity for social connection, you lose access to these supportive relationships and end up trying to meditate in isolation without the co-regulation benefits that community can provide. The breathing dysfunction that results from vagus nerve blockage creates one of the most significant barriers to meditation practice. Breath awareness is central to virtually all meditation traditions because breathing provides the most direct pathway to nervous system regulation. But when your vagus nerve is blocked, your breathing patterns become shallow, rapid, and irregular, making breath-based meditation extremely difficult. Your vagus nerve controls the diaphragm and coordinates the subtle rhythms that create deep, calming breathing patterns. When vagal function is compromised, you lose access to diaphragmatic breathing and become stuck in chest breathing patterns that actually increase anxiety rather than promoting calm. Trying to meditate while breathing shallowly is like trying to drive a car with a malfunctioning engine. You can go through the motions, but you can't achieve the performance the vehicle is designed for. The cognitive inflexibility that develops with chronic vagus nerve blockage also interferes with meditation practice. Effective meditation requires what researchers call cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift attention fluidly between different objects of awareness without getting stuck in repetitive thought patterns. When your vagus nerve isn't functioning properly, your brain tends to get locked into rigid patterns of thinking that resist the open, flexible awareness that meditation cultivates. This manifests as persistent mental loops, obsessive thinking, or the inability to shift attention away from worries and concerns. Even when you're consciously trying to focus on meditation objects like breath or bodily sensations. The harder you try to concentrate, the more rigid and effortful your mental state becomes, creating exactly the opposite of the relaxed awareness that meditation is designed to cultivate. The emotional dysregulation associated with vagus nerve blockage creates additional challenges for meditation practice. Your vagus nerve plays crucial roles in emotional processing and regulation, helping you experience emotions without becoming overwhelmed or reactive. When vagal function is compromised, emotions become more intense, longer-lasting, and difficult to navigate skillfully. During meditation, this emotional dysregulation can manifest as sudden waves of anxiety, sadness, anger, or other difficult emotions that feel overwhelming rather than workable. Instead of being able to observe emotions with equanimity, as meditation traditions suggest, you become flooded by emotional intensity that disrupts your practice and may even make meditation feel emotionally unsafe, the muscle tension and physical holding patterns that develop with chronic stress and vagal dysfunction create additional barriers to comfortable meditation posture. When your nervous system is chronically activated, your muscles remain in patterns of tension and readiness that make sitting still extremely uncomfortable. Your body literally cannot relax into the ease and stability that support effective meditation. Practice. This physical tension isn't just a minor distraction. It actively signals to your nervous system that you're in a state of threat or activation. Your vagus nerve receives information from your muscles about your physical state, and chronic tension sends ongoing signals that override attempts to relax and enter meditative states. Trying to meditate with significant muscle tension is like trying to float while holding weights. The physical reality contradicts the intended state. Understanding vagus nerve blockage as the root cause of meditation difficulties opens up entirely new approaches to developing effective practice. Instead of trying harder to concentrate or forcing your mind to be quiet, you can focus on removing the physiological barriers that prevent meditation from working naturally. This involves addressing the vagal dysfunction that's blocking your access to the calm, aware states that meditation is designed to cultivate. The first step in unblocking your vagus nerve for meditation involves identifying and addressing the factors that have compromised vagal function. This might include chronic stress, unresolved trauma, chronic inflammation, gut dysfunction, environmental toxins, or other health issues that interfere with nervous system regulation. Without addressing these underlying causes, attempts to meditate effectively will continue to be frustrated by ongoing vagal dysfunction. Specific, breathing practices designed to activate and strengthen your vagus nerve can begin to restore the physiological foundation necessary for effective meditation. These aren't the same as meditation breathing techniques. They're therapeutic interventions specifically designed to repair nervous system function. Extended exhale breathing, the physiological sigh technique, and diaphragmatic breathing exercises can gradually improve vagal tone and create the conditions necessary for successful meditation practice. Cold exposure therapy represents one of the most powerful tools for unblocking vagus nerve function and restoring access to meditative states. Regular cold exposure through cold showers, ice baths, or cold water immersion can significantly improve vagal tone while also building overall nervous system resilience. The controlled stress of cold exposure followed by natural recovery helps train your nervous system to be more flexible and responsive. The key is starting slowly and building tolerance gradually, especially if your nervous system is already compromised by stress or trauma. Begin with brief exposures to mildly cool water and gradually work toward colder temperatures and longer durations as your vagal function improves. Many people find that regular cold exposure dramatically improves their ability to access calm states during meditation practice. Gentle movement practices that support vagal function can help prepare your nervous system for meditation by releasing physical tension and activating parasympathetic responses. This might include yoga, tai chi, qigong, walking in nature, or simple stretching routines that feel soothing rather than demanding. The goal is movement that helps your body remember how to feel relaxed and at ease rather than constantly activated and ready for action. These movement practices work synergistically with meditation by addressing the physical holding patterns that maintain nervous system activation. When your body learns to move with ease and grace, it becomes much easier to sit in meditation with comfort and stability. The physical relaxation supports the mental relaxation that meditation requires. Vocalization and sound practices can provide direct stimulation to your vagus nerve while also preparing your system for meditation. Humming, chanting, singing, or toning exercises directly stimulate vagal pathways through your vocal cords and throat muscles. Many meditation traditions incorporate sound practices specifically because they help prepare the nervous system for deeper states of awareness. Regular vocalization practice can gradually restore your nervous system's capacity for self-regulation while also providing emotional release and expression. As your vagal function improves through sound work, you'll likely find that traditional silent meditation becomes much more accessible and effective. Nutritional support for vagus nerve function can address inflammation and metabolic dysfunction that interfere with nervous system regulation and meditation practice. Anti-inflammatory diets, gut healing protocols, and specific nutrients that support nerve function can create the biological foundation necessary for effective meditation. This isn't about perfect nutrition. It's about addressing the specific imbalances that maintain vagal dysfunction. Many people find that addressing gut health issues, food sensitivities, and nutrient deficiencies significantly improves their ability to sit comfortably in meditation and access calm states. The gut-brain connection through the vagus nerve means that digestive health directly impacts your capacity for nervous system regulation and meditative awareness. Professional support can be invaluable for addressing complex vagus nerve blockages that have roots in trauma, chronic illness, or other factors that require specialized expertise. Working with practitioners who understand both nervous system healing and contemplative practice can provide guidance for safely navigating the process of restoring vagal function while developing meditation skills. Some people may initially find that as their vagus nerve begins to unblock, meditation becomes temporarily more challenging rather than easier. This can happen when improved vagal function allows previously suppressed emotions or sensations to surface. Having professional support during this process can help ensure that the healing unfolds safely and sustainably. The timeline for unblocking vagus nerve function and developing effective meditation practice varies, significantly depending on the extent of dysfunction and individual factors. Some people notice improvements in their meditation experience within weeks of beginning vagal repair work, while others may need months or even years to fully restore their nervous system's capacity for deep meditative states. Early signs of improvement often include the ability to sit more comfortably during meditation, slightly deeper breathing during practice, reduced mental agitation, or brief moments of genuine calm and presence. As vagal function continues to improve, people typically experience progressively deeper states of relaxation, clearer awareness, and the sense that meditation is becoming natural and effortless rather than forced and difficult. The long-term vision of unblocking your vagus nerve for meditation goes beyond just improving your formal practice. As your nervous system's regulatory capacity is restored, you'll likely find that the qualities cultivated in meditation, presence, awareness, equanimity, and compassion, begin to emerge naturally in daily life. You develop what contemplative traditions call embodied presence, the ability to remain centered and aware regardless of external circumstances. Many people discover that once their vagus nerve function is restored, meditation becomes not just accessible, but profoundly nourishing and transformative. They finally understand why millions of people have found meditation to be life-changing, because they can actually access the states that make this transformation possible. Instead of struggling against their nervous system during practice, they find themselves supported by a body and mind that naturally want to rest in awareness and presence. The ripple effects of successful meditation practice extend far beyond the formal sitting periods. When you can reliably access states of calm presence through meditation, you develop greater resilience to stress, improved emotional regulation, enhanced creativity and intuition, deeper capacity for connection and compassion, and an overall sense of well-being that doesn't depend on external circumstances being perfect. But perhaps most importantly, you discover that the peace and awareness you seek through meditation aren't foreign states that you need to create or achieve. They're your natural condition when your nervous system is functioning optimally. Your vagus nerve has been waiting to support you in accessing these states all along. It just needed the right conditions and support to remember how to do what it was designed to do. Your struggles with meditation aren't a reflection of your spiritual capacity or dedication to practice. They're a reflection of a nervous system that needs specific support to function optimally. Once you understand this connection and address the vagal blockages that prevent effective practice, meditation can become what it was always meant to be, a natural, nourishing return to your essential nature of aware, peaceful presence. The journey of unblocking your vagus nerve for meditation often becomes a journey of rediscovering your innate capacity for presence, peace, and open-hearted awareness. These qualities aren't achievements you need to earn through perfect practice. They're gifts that become available when your nervous system is healthy enough to support them. Your vagus nerve is the bridge between the intention to meditate and the actual experience of meditative awareness. And healing this bridge opens up possibilities for practice and presence that may have seemed impossible before.